She meant for us to buy a home, not lavish meals.
Fine, but we need to eat.
new forest worries me. Nothing natural ever grew that quickly.
It's those wood elves. They've been trying to annex territory that is rightfully ours.
The guild has need of you, comrade. There's an urgent task for you. The guild requests your help.
I can't make sense of it. What do Athelia and her Shardborn seek to gain here? Why assist the recollection and allow them to use Wildburn seeds to transform Westweald? What are we missing, friend? That might better be pondered by Laramil, but you're probably onto something. Both the Recollection and the Shardborn serve the Prince of Paths. Their goals must complement each other somehow. Which brings up another question. Where's Athelia? The Outcast Inn? I know the place. It helps explain some of the markings on this encoded map. So, not only did we stop Nantharion from sending a Wildburn seed to Skingrad, we found a lead to Athelia's whereabouts. And that's not all. We exposed Nantharion as leader of the Recollection. When Vashabar hears about this, they'll tear the crown from his head. He can lead the Recollection, but he can't hide anymore. And we saved Skingrad from a Wildburn. Here, friend. You earned this. The map we found at Hoperoot contains a valuable clue. I just know it. Give me some time and I'll decipher the code and figure it out. One thing is already clear. King Nantharion and his allies aren't done with Westweald yet. I won't know for sure until I finish deciphering Nantharion's notes, but Athelia is still at large. The Daedric incursions haven't stopped, and Recollection forces are thick as Horvors on Carrion around Ayleid ruins. They're looking for something. When I think of Ayleids, I think of magic. Welkin stones, portals, ancient relics. Things that would be dangerous in the wrong hands. But how it fits into Nantharion's plans, I don't know. Think you could help me piece it together, friend? Laramil can use your help. She wants you to assist her in investigating the Outcast Inn. Help her out, then check in again. Well, in addition to the memory you saw of Athelia heading toward the inn, Laramil says there are tangled threads of fate converging in that area. Whatever's going on there, you need to help Laramil figure it out.
Conrad, a word. The guild has need of you, Conrad.
We cannot...
Let's move! Yeah!
Come, Proxy. Things here are more dire than I suspected. I am glad you are here, Proxy. Threads of fate tangle around the Outcast Inn in an ever-expanding knot, fraying the bonds of cause and effect with each bend and twist. Should they snap, the results would be catastrophic. I cannot discern its origin. Hermaeus Mora gifted me an ability to perceive the threads of fate. This tangle painfully overwhelms that very gift whenever I try to approach the inn. Someone without such sight must act as my agent, namely you. Pass through this tangle and enter the inn. Find the source of this disturbance. Stop it however you can. I cannot assist you in this. You shall stand alone against a force that tangles fate and unravels reality. Succeed and you shall be rewarded. If we allow the tangle in fate to persist, our localized reality could collapse. In short, we would all cease to exist. Enter the inn while I research this phenomenon. And hurry, Proxy. Even at this distance, the disturbance causes me great pain. I sensed the disturbance as I conducted my own investigations. When I heard you had also seen a memory of Athelia associated with this place, I knew we had to learn more. Unfortunately, my ability to sense the disturbance also holds me at bay. Cause and effect shape our entire reality. Even Magicka has a known source. Mundus exists as a cascading series of actions and outcomes, though sometimes we cannot perceive either. The event within this tangle of fates decouples the two. Imagine swinging a blade, but it refuses to slice through the air. Or a guar suddenly appearing overhead and falling on a person. Or worse, a town erupting into flames without a single spark being struck. Life would become untenable. As I understand it, the Outcast Inn was an unremarkable establishment prior to this. In Skingrad, I learned that a new owner purchased it recently and had started to make repairs. I know little else. Perhaps anyone you find inside can tell you more. Go where I cannot, Roxy. Untangle this knot of fate.
Another apparition? Oh, you're real. Please, come in. What can I get you? Yes, please, come in. Stay for a while. Just pay no mind to the crack in the sky outside or those shadows. Ignore them and have a drink. All right, I can't ignore them either. It all started when the woman at the table by the fire came in. I don't know her from a skeever's arse, and I don't care what her name is. But she's absolutely the cause of my problems. Right after she arrived, the sky changed, and those shadows started roaming my inn. Then she sat by the fire without a word. Not a one. But a good innkeep can guess what a customer needs. And she needs a drink. Something to wake her up. A Skyrim sunrise. I can't leave my patrons with these shadows, though. Could you go to the well and fetch some water? You'll drink free. The well's out back in the courtyard. Bring me a bucket of water, and I'll mix up a Skyrim sunrise. That should get her talking. Then I can ask her to move along and take this strangeness with her. She's scaring my customers. All good innkeepers know when to leave someone alone and when to chat them up. If not for these shadows floating around, I'd let the woman have her privacy by the fire. Also, there's something about her that frightens me. Can't think of a better word. They're not people, just sort of disturbingly people-shaped. I think they want to speak, but they don't make a sound. They arrived, and the sky cracked exactly when the woman by the fire stepped through the door.
Keep playing. Just keep playing. They won't hurt you unless you stop the music. I don't know why I believe that, but I haven't stopped for a moment, and I'm still safe.
I don't understand what's happening. All of it occurring simultaneously, it won't stop. You aren't here. This place isn't here. I'm not really here. Go away.
Should have been more prepared.
Mortal, help me, please. I don't know if you can understand me. My mind is a storm of images and voices and memories. I can see every reality all at once, the many paths. But my grip on this realm keeps slipping. But you... I see that you are real. We didn't we? Then you know my name is Ethelia. I am what mortals call, a Daedric prince. These echoes... I summoned them by accident. I am losing control. The inn... It drew me here, called to me. I need something it can provide. Possibilities, probabilities, places where fate takes a different course. Some lead to here, others to there. And a few they lead to... elsewhere. But this place, it has something I need. A phrase emerges from the storm. Sage's dream. Yes, that's it. A drink, I think. It tastes of belonging. Cohesion. The innkeeper, ask him to make this drink for me. Quickly, before the storm takes me again. I remember so little about myself. Why is that? Did someone... Yes. Mora, he did this. But Sage's dream... I know it can help me even as the details slip away. Please, ask the innkeeper. I feel certain he knows something. am Ethelia, the Daedric Prince of Paths, the mistress of the untraveled road. I am confused. Sometimes an event surges into memory. Fear, anger, and resignation erupt all at once. And then I lose my grasp and forget again. Remembering is a struggle. I cannot extract details from the chaos of converging realities. There is darkness. Then I saw a light in the distance. The light became this inn. It summoned me, but the reason was unclear. Until I recalled Sage's dream.
Well, at least she's finally talking. That's better than I ever managed. I hope you told her to get out of here. My remaining customers are starting to talk about settling their bill and finding someplace less strange. I knew she wanted a drink, but Sage's dream? Never heard of it. And I've memorized every recipe in every edition of the Innkeeper's Helper. Wait, I just remembered. We might be in luck yet. The previous owner left junk all over the courtyard. I've been sorting through it and noticed a book on obscure and ancient drinks. Maybe it contains a recipe for Sage's dream. Go back there and find that book. Gilredal's Book of Obscure and Ancient Spirits. That's the book's name. Search around the courtyard behind the inn. Also, try the outbuilding in the far back. I found junk in there, too. Bring me the book, and we'll see if it has the recipe we need. She hasn't moved once since you left. I tried talking to her, but she only muttered quietly to herself. I'd almost feel bad for her if I wasn't losing sales. Oh, did you find that book on obscure drinks? An Aeoliad drink? Odd. This inn was built on Aeoliad ruins. Just a coincidence. Tirum weed, hark fruit juice, loot berries. I've never even heard of these ingredients. I can mimic that flavor profile, though. Just need some substitutions. I need to think about it. Maybe some frost miriam? Oh, some lotus might work. In the meantime, I need to make some syrup. Go to the cellar and grab some sugar. I'll keep thinking about this until you get back. Reproducing a sage's dream sounds like a fun challenge. It'll certainly take my mind off of what's happening to my inn. You'll find stairs to the cellar in the room behind you. It opens up into an old ruin, but don't mind that. Never. I've learned about drinks from across Tamria, and none of these ingredients sound familiar. But that won't stop me. Maybe we can bring this drink back into popularity.
Something hides here. I feel its hatred thick and sour. Perhaps I can call it to us. This horrid relic rose from the ground. I need to talk. When you left, I was compelled to follow. I saw an image of you entering this chamber, and I knew I had to be here with you. But then this awful lamp appeared, rudely popping out of nowhere. I hate the damned thing! The storm in my head, remember? I cannot focus through all the overlapping paths. I think this damned lamp was used against me, but I cannot understand how. Could you pick it up? I wished to examine it, but could not stand holding the horrid thing. Over here. I sense a path that wishes to be explored. Shine the lamp, please. A doorway to the many paths. Step through and I will follow. My power abandons me here. I will follow if I can.
The enemy approaches.
I recognize
They
this
come
place.
to imprison my prince.
Mortals worship
No,
me here.
Torvasad.
They are different. Approach, Pathwalker, and speak with me. A mortal pathwalker. Such a creature is quite rare. And I see you are accompanied by one of my reflections. An Athelia from a different path. You carry something else with you. It feels like... hatred. Tell me, why have you come to my reality? The Lamp of Clarity. A relic created to hunt me and my unseen. It carries a spark of its creator Azora within. That gives it a bit of awareness. It must know that your Athelia poses a threat. But why lead you to me? Ah. Sage's Dream is the mortal name for our connection to the many paths. It manifests as a drink, but is brewed from ingredients infused with my very own essence. Drinking it will reconnect my reflection to the many paths, and stabilize her power. They bloom in my shadow, or in the shadows of other Athelias. Each path's ingredient is unique. You can find Tiramweed here, but the rest grows in other realities. Take what you need, Pathwalker. Then you must leave before my fellow princes arrive. This is my end, Pathwalker. Hermaeus Mora has declared me a threat to reality and comes to imprison me. I am tired of fighting. It is the same on every path I have examined. If this is my fate, so be it. Take my Tiramweed and go with my blessing. How strange. A mortal who walks the many paths without understanding them. Between that, keeping company with my reflection, and bearing the Lamp of Clarity, you intrigue me. Very well. Ask your questions. Not in any way your mortal mind would understand. I do not wish to drive you mad. An analogy, perhaps. Picture a diamond that somehow formed around a spiderweb, interweaving lines within a grander, fixed shape. That is the many paths. Possibilities scatter across the Orbis, each defined by distinct choices, with unique outcomes that lead to new realities. The many paths are the web that binds them. Some can traverse these connections, as you have done here. Control? No. But I have the power to see them, to follow their threads and alter their fates. It is one of the things that Hermaeus Mora respects about me. And the one thing he fears the most. The mortal mind is limited, intentionally so. Comprehending the many paths should overwhelm you, and actually traversing them should be impossible. I can barely do that. You are unique among your kind. Thus the title I give you, Pathwalker. Mortals are servants, performing tasks to maintain reality. Every field plowed, child born, or war fought, keeps the Orbis stable by design. This fact is kept from them. The slaves should not understand the Master's plan, lest they seek to undo them. Each reality bound by the many paths contains a version of an entity, mortal or Daedra. They each differ in some way, but each springs from the same seed. I am no different. She and I are the same, but distorted, like an image in a cracked mirror. Most mortals quake in fear at my presence, or demand one boon or another. But all you seek is knowledge. Interesting. Ask your questions then, Pathwalker. I suppose so. If she's lost control of her power, then she needs someone to stabilize her. It seems she chose you for this task. The more information you have, then, the better. Once Hermaeus Mora chose my fate, he recruited other Daedric princes to aid in my capture. Azora answered his call by creating the Lamp of Clarity. Its light exposes my location on a path. Or, as you have seen, reveals doorways to the many paths. I am as curious as you. Perhaps it does not aid you, but only appears to. Azora's essence may have a purpose of its own, and you are only along to see that purpose fulfilled. I hope you find your answer as you continue your journey. The many paths connects all Athelias across all realities. This bond can weaken over time, causing distress to an Athelia. We developed a means to reintegrate called Sage's Dream. It manifests as a drink to consume, but this is only an illusion. The ingredients grow in an Athelia's shadow. They form from our essence. We each produce only one ingredient. Mixing these ingredients melds the essences from many Athelias. When imbibed, we take in the power of our reflections. When she drinks Sage's Dream, she takes in the combined essences of her reflections. She gains their understanding of her power. Your Athelia will reconnect to the many paths and regain control of her power. An extended separation from the many paths, perhaps. Oh, yes, I see it now. Your Athelia already suffered Mora's punishment. Her power was stripped from her when she was locked away. She needs to calm the storm as her power seeks to return to her.
I found your conversation with my prince very interesting. A mortal walking the many paths, and in service of the Fate Changer. I must respect that. I hope you find what you need to help your Athelia. Maybe you'll succeed where I have failed. Other Daedric princes, led by Hermaeus Mora, approach, coming to imprison Athelia. Despite my protests, she refuses to resist them. After all the battles, I do not understand why she now chooses to just surrender. It makes no sense.
Why does my prince allow this mortal to speak with her? Hermaeus Mora and the other betrayers approach. We have no time to waste with mortal nonsense.
Here, I offer you a path home. Take it with my blessing.
You are my enemy, yet you still live. And perhaps there is more to you than I thought, mortal. Or more likely, the Vargas of your path is a coward who runs from battles. Either way, should you start a fight here, I will end you quickly.
Use the lamp, mortal. So much of the path we just walked was familiar to me. The shrine, my scions. I remember it now. When Hermaeus Mora and the others arrived, took my power, locked me away. I had a plan as well, but I do not remember just surrendering like that. I sent Torvasard and the other scions away. They had to remain hidden, free to act when the time was right. The rest is still unclear. We learned much on that path about the Lamp of Clarity and Sage's Dream. It was created by the Daedric Prince Azora. She made the relic to find me. One of my powers is to avoid the gaze of other princes, but they found a way around that. The lamp contains a spark of Azora, which reveals these paths to us for some reason. As am I. Hopefully we learn more as we travel. The last path was clarifying, but I still feel overwhelmed. I am...
Got your back.
A new path appears. Use the lamp, mortal. Step through. Let us see where this path takes us. Dread fills this path. Find the ingredient, but use caution. We are...
Face my better nature. Let's see what you're...
My Shardborn. They always serve me well. These shells were full in our reality. The shrine appears old, decayed. What happened? Have Mora's forces finally come? Then I am finished. No, you do not belong here, but a reflection of the Prince of Pards travels with you. Have you come to revel at my defeat? To watch Hermaeus Mora imprison me? How shameful that I attract a mocking audience. Get on with your gloating then. Of course she lost control of her powers. All Ethelias are fragile creatures. They break under the slightest pressure. Just like glass. How did you get here, if my reflection cannot control her power? How did you walk the many paths? My Shardborn should gut you. Whether you intend it or not, this humiliates me even more. An item of my ruin born by a reflection who walks free. If it will get you to leave, I have Hark Fruit, one of the ingredients for Sage's Dream. Take it and go. Azura's lamp is not a friend to Ethelia, Pathwalker. All the relics work to subdue us. If it helps make a Sage's Dream, it is not to empower my reflection. No matter. My fate here is sealed, so what do I care? Take your Hark Fruit and leave me. Accepted. All that I am will soon vanish from reality. How could I possibly be comfortable with annihilation? No. I feel dread. Resentment. Anger. And totally ashamed by my obvious weakness. When word arrived of Hermaeus Mora's plan for me, I crumbled. My followers are loyal, but they couldn't face down the combined might of the other princes. What resistance we presented was quickly crushed, Another testament to my weakness. Mora's army has surrounded the shrine and will soon pour in. I will have no choice but to let them imprison me. My followers may be locked away as well, or scattered across oblivion. It does not matter anymore. Let them come. This reflection seems resigned to her fate. Quite different from the other. Let us get the ingredient and go. I sense this is the last path calling to me. Use the lamp here, mortal. Like before, this path stirred up memories. I experienced the same dread before Hermaeus Mora's forces arrived. But I did not collapse like a coward. I commanded my Shardborn to resist, and they obeyed. The struggle, I recall, was epic. I remember the armies of the other princes pounding on the doors to my shrine. My loyal Shardborn readying their weapons. The sounds of unrelenting battle. I recall the princes standing in judgment over me. Then, blackness. She is correct. I should not trust Azura's lamp. But it led us to 2 ingredients needed for a sage's dream, and now we have tiramweed and hawk fruit. 1 more and we can make the drink. And then I can regain control of my powers. Step into the many paths once again, mortal. Unbridled anger fills these halls. We have entered a war zone. Find the last ingredient, but be careful.
any closer. Speak with me, and I shall explain. Your Ethelia, does she not sense it? The Ethelia of this path, my prince, has lost herself. She has become the monster that Hermaeus Mora foresaw. If she cannot regain control, this reality is finished. Why does a mortal walk beside an Ethelia? Then I hope you succeed where I have failed. I tried to get my prince to calm down, but she lashed out at Mora's forces with her full fury. The more she fought, the more lost she became. Perhaps there is still a chance for you. How can I help? Why would... Oh, I understand. Azura's lamp wants to preserve your reality. By helping your Ethelia regain control, she can be safely imprisoned again. The ingredient you need is close by. Loot berries. Hurry and take them before it is too late. Flee while you can, mortal. Save your own life. Just spare a thought for this doomed path if you survive. I suspect we will not last much longer. I suggest you take the loot berries and run. Good luck. Ethelia is the fate changer, the unweaver. She has power unlike any other Daedric prince. The power to shift existence itself. Mora long suspected that Ethelia was dangerous, but full of uncontrollable rage. Reality itself unravels around her. The unimaginable. Can you contemplate what happens when reality shreds like parchment beneath a saber cat's claws? Nothing remains when existence ceases to be.
Mora dares! Damn his eyes! Every one of them!
Don't dare!
Wanted a monster! Behold the last tomorrow! Behold the destroyer of reality! This Ethelia shows uncontrolled rage. It will consume every piece of this reality. We must leave this path before my reflection destroys it.
There you are. Come here. I have an idea about the sage's dream. Did you get lost down here? Yeah, that happens to me sometimes too. That woman is back upstairs, sitting by the fire, so I came looking for you. I think I figured out how to make a sage's dream, even if we don't have the proper ingredients. What? You do? Well, that makes things easier. I'm not sure where you got ingredients that no longer exist, but the good innkeeper knows when not to ask questions. Can you help me make the drink? I'll read from the recipe book while you do the rest. I turned my alchemy stove into the finest experimental drink maker in Tamriel. You can be the first to try it. For each ingredient, we'll need to get the temperature just right. I'll call out for more or less heat. You turn the appropriate valve. First, place the tyrum weed in the apparatus. Slowly apply heat to steep the tyrum weed. needs more heat. Too hot. Reduce the heat. That looks nicely steamed. Next, place the hawk fruit in the apparatus. Apply heat to liquefy the hawk fruit. Again, not too hot. It needs to be hotter. You'll burn the fruit. Reduce the heat. The hawk fruit looks properly reduced. Now add loot berries to the apparatus. You should chill the loot berries without freezing them. It needs to be cooler. It's getting too cold. Don't freeze them. Ah, we froze the loot berries. We can start over. You should chill the loot berries without freezing them. It needs to be cooler. It's getting too cold. Don't freeze them. Perfectly chilled. Now, to blend the drink. 2 parts steeped tirum weed and hawk fruit juice for every 1 part of chilled loot berries. That's the exact amount of loot berries we need. That's the perfect amount of tirum weed. Don't add any more. Looks like a perfectly blended sage's dream. Pour the finished drink into that carafe. Now, grab the drink and take it to that strange woman. I'll meet you upstairs.
Sage's dream. Do you have it? We walked the many paths together. The storm abates, and I can clearly see the many paths. I can discern one reality from the next, and my mind is clear. I am myself again. I am Athelia, Prince of Paths and Mistress of the Untraveled Road. I shall set things right. The echoes I dragged from disparate paths are free to return to their own realms, and allow me to untangle the threads of fate and restore balance to this reality. I thank you, Pathwalker. And I am jealous of you. We learned that every Athelia is dangerous, a broken creature that ends up hunted. We cannot change who we are. But mortals, you choose your paths. You don't need the powers of a Daedric prince to alter your fate. I envy this. Goodbye, Pathwalker.
The pain is gone and the threads of fate have untangled. What happened in there, Proxy? I sense the knot in the threads of fate has untangled, Proxy. This threat to our reality has passed. Should I assume you are responsible? Tell me what occurred within the Outcast Inn. If helping Athelia saved reality, then you made the right choice. But the Lamp of Clarity is a powerful relic. I am glad you found it. I would like to take the lamp to Baragon's townhouse for further study. May I have it? I predicted that the tangled threads of fate were related to Athelia's release. But how could I know she was the direct cause? You have served the one who knows very well in this effort. Here is the reward I promised. I must contact Hermaeus Mora and inform him that Athelia has regained at least some of her power. Do not take this as a slight against you. Helping her saved many lives. It was the correct thing to do. Take it to Skingrad for study. Azura's lamp was designed to hunt down Athelia and her minions. Knowing how best to utilize it must be my next priority. Please find me there when you are able. The Chosen of Fate still has much to do.
Fighting for Zeabaza. Reaper's March, Valenwood, the Imperial City. All for a soldier's dinner.
Hello there.
Anything I can do?